So today it's an impromptu Facebook Live, I think with an important topic. Oh, not sure what's going on. Okay, so I will be talking about high sensitivity and where I see two biggest obstacles for HSPs thriving in their lives, in our lives. Mm, yeah, internal reasons, because we cannot influence the external world, no matter how much we want it. So the first reason is not knowing ourselves, not understanding ourselves. So I'm doing this live in the group. You are here so you know you are highly sensitive. And chances are you know a lot about yourself. That's great. So first is education, first is knowledge, getting more information to be able to recognize who you are, because high sensitivity is only a trait, but it's a very important one. We we look at everything through the lens of this trait. Um, where was I? Yeah, to know what high sensitivity is and then to recognize how it shows in ourselves. So, how it influences our lives, how it plays out in us, in our interactions with others, how it influences our relationships, our work, everything. And then understand that my post yesterday, not compare to others, including not comparing to other highly sensitive people, because we are different. Even this 20% of the population, allegedly, we are different. Each of the four characteristics shows in a different way in every individual. So I think this is the first reason. We have to understand ourselves. We have to know how we function, how we are, and not only with high sensitivity, but self-exploration and self-awareness and awareness. I think is the biggest, let's say, joker in our lives. So I encourage you to invest your time, your energy, money in getting to know yourself. Even in Greek history, there's gnosis afton, know thyself. Because if you don't know yourself, you will not be able to support yourself, and you will not be able to tell others how they can support you. So that's the first one and the most important one. This is what the group is about. I share information I have come across that I know, well, I know they are important. Use information, ask questions. You don't have to be a perfect student, but use that for self-exploration. Use that for reflection. Every time I hear something new about high sensitivity, I learn something new about myself. Every person I'm listening to, something comes up for me. So it's not just about learning something new intentionally, but figuring out something you already know, but seeing it in a different perspective or in a different way. So this is the first reason. The or yeah, let's say reason. And the second one is linked to high sensitivity very much. Namely, it's the lack of self-worth. Lack or low self-worth high sensitive people have to change something. And this originates in our childhood, like everything, or like a lot of things, because high sensitivity, it's genetic, and it's also, yeah, it's the nervous system. It makes us more susceptible to influences of our environment. So when we are young, our environment is our family, our immediate self. And from there, we learn a lot. And if we are different, if we are not the way we should be to make life easy for them, let's say, we will pick up on details, if not on words, that we are not worthy, that there's something wrong with us. That's one way. The other way is if our needs, especially emotional needs, are not met, we will feel there's something wrong with us. We are not worthy. Otherwise, we will get everything we need. And no matter how our parents are good to us, no matter what intentions they have to give us everything we need, they still might not be able to. And here I'm venturing into the field of childhood emotional neglect. I will not go into this more in detail, but this is something that makes us feel unworthy, disconnected from our own feelings and disconnected from others. And this lack of self-worth. Because when we find out or when we realize we're highly sensitive, and if we haven't lived a life that supports this trait, we will have to do something about it if we want to stay healthy or get healthy. And that will require change, that will require courage and standing up for ourselves, making changes, saying no, setting boundaries. And all of this requires some inner strength and feeling or knowing you are worthy of that. So this childhood emotional neglect, in my opinion, is always present in something else, namely codependence. And every child that grew up in a dysfunctional family got some codependency issues. And codependence, well, they say the whole Western society is codependent. So getting out of this is very hard. What is codependency? Codependency is, it makes you act in a different way than you normally would if you were not codependent. Okay, I'll move forward. Codependency impacts our lives in two ways. It destroys or it harms relationship with ourselves. So we have issues, difficulties setting boundaries, making ourselves priority. We express in extremes, right or wrong, black or white, all or nothing. We have difficulties esteeming ourselves, so writing the appropriate self-esteem or self-appreciation. And we also have difficulties expressing ourselves, our reality, because sometimes we don't even know it. And the way it shows up or it messes up our relationship with others is we control, we manipulate, we have difficulties in intimate relationships because we don't dare to be ourselves. And sometimes we don't even know what that is. And we are avoiding reality, and we experience a lot of resentment because our expectations are not met. So this is how it impairs the relationships. And I will now share some symptoms, let's say, of codependency, and maybe you will see what I'm talking about, and I will read them and translate them. So, perfectionism, guilt, shame, fear of rejection, feeling we are responsible for other people. We are not. We are only responsible for ourselves. I'm not talking about parents and minor children. Feeling powerless, people pleasing. You cannot say no. Feeling of not belonging. Being obsessed with analyzing, being thinking too much, like not thinking a lot, but too much. So you're constantly in your head. Fear of being without a mask, not being proper, fear of being exposed the way you are. Everything has to be the struggle. You have difficulties enjoying life or simply just being. You take things too personally. You yearn for a change, yet you don't want to do enough to make that change, to create that change. And you feel trapped. So all of this is codependence. And here's where the thin line is between high sensitivity and codependence. Because I see a lot of quotes, a lot of this is who I am, this is high sensitivity, where in fact it might also be codependency. So in my view, there's high sensitivity and there's a lot of other stuff like codependency, childhood emotional neglect, and something else that has to do with physical symptoms more, or physical occurrences of high sensitivity, namely nervous system dysregulation. Because being very sensitive to sounds or light or something, that can also mean that when we were growing up, this helped us survive. So if we were highly attuned to the noises, to the sounds, because we were afraid someone will come or something will happen, and we have to be hyper alert, that's not high sensitivity anymore. It's nervous system dysregulation. So basically what I am trying to do with this Facebook Live is show you that there's high sensitivity and there's a lot of other things that are on top of high sensitivity, making it a burden. And if we don't know what it is, we cannot unburden ourselves. So this Facebook group is a first step to learn, to get information, and to explore further. And then I do my individual work, individual coaching that help you move to the next step, to individually look at your life and how everything plays out. So I like to say I'm expanding awareness. I use education and exploration to expand your awareness, to help you expand your awareness, because this is what I do with my life. So with me or with someone else, but I encourage you to invest in yourself to create a life that will support you, to create yourself so you will be able to understand yourself and stand by yourself no matter what, to support yourself, to have your back, and to go through your life in an empowered way. So that's for now. Wishing you a great day. No matter where in the world you are, stay safe, stay healthy, and believe in yourself. You are worthy of a good life, of a great life. Create yourself and create one for yourself. Bye.